Hello, everyone. It's definitely summertime as today's trading kind of had a lackluster feel behind it overall, but still, there were some pretty decent moves out there with earnings winners and some big moves on the downside with earnings losers. But the earnings winners, I got to admit, very impressive today. My long scans, it's funny, but just the last 3 days of the up sessions in Nasdaq has helped a lot of these stocks look like they're trying to stabilize. The ones that are still looking good, that is. I mean, the ones that have already been hammered, forget about them. And then my personal long positions, they keep on looking strong overall. A lot of them holding their bases in tight patterns, after like a little bit of selling. So as long as I continue to see action like that, it's going to be hard to get too upset on this market. And then we had SKX. This is a long-term winner from back here. Uh, big move today, up 151% now. No matter what, the final sell stop now gets raised all the way up to 119.87. You can then put half with the move below 139.51 is. Tell you what, that's a huge move in a short amount of time. And I find it hard to believe that Skechers is going to be able to produce a whole lot more. So raising sell stops on that one. But overall, as long as the market continues to act like this, it's so far good. But right now, at the same time, that being said, it looks very dead cattish. There hasn't been too huge like up days on huge like one was up 1.25 and 0.87 on the NYC, but there's no like up 1.5 to 2% day out there. Same with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, look at its gains the last 3 days. The best day was 0.98%. That really doesn't scream, hey, we bottomed here. Russell 2000, excellent reversal back above its 200-day moving average, but the subsequent price gains is only 0.61%. So there's still a lot of guessing out there. It's basically, what did you expect? We're heading into August, September. So it's going to be a little rough. I mean, let's just even look back to last year, August and September. That, wasn't that great. And then let's look back here. Here, let's do this so we can even see what it did in 2013. There we go. How did it do? August, September. So look at August, September in 2013, same thing. And then how did it do? Look at August. August was good that year, but September not so hot. So, it's just typical. The markets usually don't do good in August and September. It's the worst 2 months of the year post 1950, and it's the third and first worst post 1929. So it is what it is. Now, ICCC, oh man, I tell you what, at least the New York Mets are out there to piss me off on a daily basis. How about blowing a 7-1 lead to lose 8-7 by allowing 3 runs in the top of the ninth inning today? Okay, getting off of that little tantrum. ICC, though, also same time, now up 22% since I got cute with my limit orders. Once again, if this market was really weak, I don't think that we would see ICCC have such a big day and then follow through immediately the next day. So that's another good sign for this market. And then VG is a small stock I've been watching since the end of June. But, it failed back through a 60-day moving average, so it kind of went off my radar. But after today, it's just good to see stocks acting like this. A lot of, stock charts look like they're trying to clean up. We'll see if it continues. I only had one sell signal tonight, and that's CHRS. It didn't hit any sell stops intraday because for now my final sell stop was at 30.31, but following today's session, half of the sell stop gets raised to 31.68, and since 30.31 is so close to 31.68, I want to give that last half of the position some more room to possibly work. So I'll be using this low of the most recent breakout. This is kind of a outside day, big reversal, so I want to stick with this low here at 28.08. So that's my final sell stop, 28.08, and then my first sell stop, 31.68. But it's closing below the 20-day moving average in heavy volume, so it's technically a 50% end of day sell signal, but you want to use the lows. But besides that, everything looks good. FIT, the recent IPO, doesn't that look like that's coiling for a breakout? So that's what I mean by charts cleaning up. CLFD is a CanSum quality stock after its big move higher in late July. It's kind of coiling in a tight trading pattern. And WNS, same thing, coiling after its strong move on heavy volume with Max Green Bop. So there's a lot of stocks that still look good out there. And then look at like FDEF. That's what I get. I raised my final sell stop was right here around this low area right here, 35.04, I believe is what it was. But following all this crazy action here, I decided after this day to raise my final sell stop to 36.03 turned out to be a mistake because look at FDEF. Once again, if the market was tragically ready to just crash, I just don't think we would see this kind of action. So that's all short-term potential good news. Now, I do have 3 long signals. The first higher quality new long signal is Juniper. Juniper is an earnings winner. And what I consider an earnings winner is anything that does well following earnings, but also they have good guidance and estimates for the next 2 years have been raised. And Juniper has pulled back in very tight trading range. Volume has been pretty heavy, but with the big intraday reversals, that definitely looks like accumulation. And now it looks like it's trying to start to break out. And this is actually a new 52-week high. Juniper was in a lot of scans. Actually, I put my book up, but I want to go ahead and get that out really quick so I can go ahead and read off what it was in. Juniper showed up in my CanSlim scan, high price stock scan. That's, I guess, stocks over 20. It seems like that's generous. Must be 25. It's got to be stocks over 25 that have huge volume. It's a second high price stock scan and a new 52-week high scan on at least above average volume. So it was confirmed in 2 scans outside of the CanSlim. So it's good for a long position, but in this current market environment, I don't want to get too fancy. So 1% long signal, even though it's CanSlim. BOP's going the wrong way, so don't really like that. But 1% Juniper. First sell stop can be 27.24. Final one, 26.95. My only one will be 26.95. I'm just going to have one sell stop on this one. And then I got an ad signal in ADPT. It's a risky ad signal, and it's an ad signal based on the belief that ADPT will attempt to try to go into a parabolic run. I obviously have no idea if that's going to happen, but to me, the chart doesn't look parabolic yet. It looks climatic, but it looks like, man, now it can really, let's see if it can get up to 150. 200 even, no, 150. So let's see what it can do. Let's see if it can get nuts. So this pattern isn't crazy enough for me to pass on this signal, but it's very risky. So the first sell stop goes below today's low of day, 105.61, and the final one's at 100.68. Because unfortunately, I only remember this day right here, I moved up half my sell stop on this to 86.57. It broke it by going to 86.17 intraday. The next day, shaking me out of half the position, and then boom, it blasted off. So it's disappointing, but because of that, I don't have as many shares as I should. So an actual 1% position here is actually, going to get me pretty close to what actually remains in the portfolio, because I think it was only a 2.5% long position to begin with, and that's just damn unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, but 1% for ADPT. And then we have Cara. Beautiful short-term stock, biotech. Lot of momentum in this one. Seems to be a favorite with the momentum investors right now. Huge volume today. Earnings are coming up, I believe, on the 5th. So we don't have much time, but the good news is that our loss cutting areas are going to be very clear. So we'll move below 1858, and the first half of Cara is gone. And then move below 1805, and I'll be completely out of Cara. But the gaps down post earnings, it's going to hurt, and that's why, because of earnings, it's only 0.5% of my personal account's capital. So Cara, 1858, 1805. The best two, though, Juniper, 1%. ADPT add 1%. And why is the ADPT add all the way up to 1%? Because, like I said, it's a play based on it going parabolic, but it was also confirmed in my perfect speculator scan, obviously. So it's a perfect speculator scan, CanSlim quality stock. But it was also in the daily volume surge scan, the new 52-week high on strong volume scan, and obviously, based on the volume surge, the price volume BOP surge scan. Cara 2 not only was in the BOP 100 days BOP, max green BOP for 5 days at least. 5 days of max green BOP. Ugh. It was also in the daily volume surge scan, which looks for huge volume surges. That's why also ADPT was in it. And it was obviously also in the price volume BOP scan. So multiple confirmations in all of these stocks, and that's why they're all new long positions.